Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the regular board meeting of the Tahoe Truckee Unified School District. Today is September 3rd. Let's see, the board met, I'm sorry. We are going to open the meeting with a Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me in saying the pledge. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All righty. All right, so the board did meet in closed session, and I do have an item to report. During the concluded closed session, the board voted to authorize legal counsel to defend the district in litigation filed by Truckee Fire Protection District. The case involves Placer County's Zone 7 property tax revenue allocations, and the district as a recipient of the tax revenue is a real party in interest. The vote was unanimous with Trustee Mooney, Trustee Nishimori, Trustee Levak, and myself. Okay. And now we need to approve the agenda, please.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And now, is there any public comment for items not on tonight's agenda? Okay, seeing none, we're going to move on to student representative reports. I believe tonight we don't have anyone from North Tahoe High School. Is that correct? Okay, from Sierra High School, we welcome Quinn. Woo-woo.
Good evening, Superintendent Kramer, members of the board, and members of the cabinet. My name is Quinn Holan, and I'm a 12th grade student with Coldstream Alternative. We had an amazing and successful start to the new school year in all our alternative programs. Students and staff were energized and ready to take on the new year. Sierra High School had a lot of new students start the year. Staff and students were excited to see all the new faces. New for Sierra High School this year is our CTE pathway, Ag and Natural Resources, with a concentration in forestry. Mrs. Herrera has been busy developing the course so students can learn about the environment in their own backyard. We're partnering with various local and national agencies, including the National and International Wolf Project, where students are studying the lives of wolves and the various impacts they have on our environment. We're also working with SWEP and the ways to promote environmental stewardship by connecting students with their local community and environment. Also at Sierra High School, we've had several students taking Sierra College classes. Students love taking higher education classes and being part of a college campus. Truckee River has had a lot of new students start the year. Students are off to a great start by working on various projects, including the local Truckee Community Garden. Truckee River is also partnering with the local Makerspace and Truckee Roundhouse. Students are expected to start their projects at the end of the month. Lastly, students are partnering with Arts for the Schools, where they begin making music and learning to dance with a well-known hip-hop artist. Coldstream Alternative also had a lot of new students start the year. In fact, all of our teachers are at full capacity for the first time at the start of a new school year since 2021. We have so many student athletes this year who are focusing on their studies while juggling the demands of sports training. Keep an eye out for some nationally ranked athletes who will be competing in national and international competitions this winter. We look forward to what the new year brings for our programs. That's it for tonight. Thank you.
Super exciting update, thank you. All right, and from Truckee High, Miss Lily Faye, who I've known since she was little, I'm just saying.
Hi everyone, my name's Lily Faye. I'm a senior at Truckee High School and I'm ASB Vice President. I just wanted to come and introduce myself and give you a warm welcome back from Truckee High. We have some events coming up in October like Homecoming and Powder Puff, but that'll be more in our October report since that's first week of October. But today I just have some Truckee High swag for you all as a little thank you and welcome back to school. So I'll pass it out to you guys.
Thank you. I think you just got some brownies. Sorry, I was saying that I think you got brownie points from President Driller, who's not here tonight. She loves swag. All right, thank you, Lily. Okay, and so now the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Clerk Hennessy. First, just as Quinn and Lily said, I'm thrilled to report that we had a fantastic start to the new school year. Last week, I had the pleasure of visiting all of our schools. Trustee Levac was able to join me on the Truckee side and President Driller on the Lake side. And we saw also lots of energy and enthusiasm from the students, families, and staff. I think everyone was ready to get started. The smooth opening that we had is a great reflection of our staff's thorough planning and commitment. In addition, our maintenance department and custodians, our facilities looked wonderful, the gardens and the grounds, and everyone was beaming, students and staff. And next, I want to celebrate the recipients of this year's Linda Brown Fellows and Star Awards, recognized by the Excellence in Education Foundation. Our incredible colleagues really deserve this recognition. So you can see them pictured below. The only recipient that isn't pictured is Tom. He got away before we could grab him. So Linda Brown Fellows are celebrating our certificated staff, and star recipients are classified. So congratulations to these individuals for that well-deserved recognition. And then for our strategic plan updates, I'm going to have one update for each of our focus areas, and it's really exciting to share how our collective commitment and this community-driven focus is bringing about real improvements. So in academic achievement, one of the priorities is making sure that we're doing evidence-based, meaningful curriculum. And this year, our transition kindergarten program is open to any student that turns 4 by September 1st. So it's the most inclusive year for students. So we have about 200 students enrolled across the district. We have 11 TK classrooms, including one classroom at Donner Trail Elementary. And to support the teachers and the students, we have 17 TK instructional assistants. And I'm very proud of the work that the TK teachers, instructional assistants, and Ed Services Department have done over the years to make sure that it's really purposeful play in the classroom, that we're using evidence-based curriculum. Cindy Maciel, our coordinator of early learning, has also worked with the team to make sure that TK is really reflecting the needs of our 4-year-olds and young 5-year-olds, and it's very distinct from kindergarten. So congratulations to that entire team on such a great rollout this year. And I got to visit the TK classrooms at Truckee L, and I think my encore career is TK instructional assistant. It's just, they were having so much fun in there. In support systems, we're celebrating 2 successful years of our COM committee. So COM is Collective Action of Labor and Management, and talking with Erin Lefevers, who's here tonight, president of TTA, and Melissa Cruz, a CSEA president, and our board president, Dee Dee Driller, and reflecting on what we've accomplished, we realized that COM is ready to be in retirement for now. So 2 years ago, over 2 years ago, we set off on this journey, and we have accomplished our first set of goals. And so we determined that for now, we'll just put the committee on pause because we have other regular scheduled meetings with CSEA and TTA where we can address things. But if anything comes up that's system-wide again, we will put COM back in place. So I just want to give a huge thank you to the team members listed there that really just poured a lot of thought and time and energy into the committee and helping us achieve our goals. So congratulations to the COM team. One of the initiatives for COM was increasing recognition programs, and with the feedback and working with COM, we restated last year the years of service recognition. So once again this year at our Welcome Back Convocation, we recognized employees for years of service, and they receive a pin that they can wear on their lanyard or wherever they would like. And this year we recognized over 130 employees for different years of service, including 5 employees for 30 years. So we have a very dedicated and committed crew here. And then something new that we added this year is an acknowledgement of legacy employees. And legacy employees, defined by us, is any employee who attended school here or graduated from a TTUSD school. And at this point, and this is a moving target that keeps going up, we have 130 employees out of about 650 total. So that is amazing. So it just shows how much we invest in our students and how they come back and they continue to nurture the next generation. So that was very exciting. And then finally, just a reminder about all the back-to-school nights that are happening. We had 2 last night and then 1 tomorrow at Alder Creek, and they just keep on rolling. And one of our key initiatives for the strategic plan is creating and fostering the two-way communication between families and the school. And so some of the school sites will be reimagining their back-to-school night to try to get more of that two-way conversation. So parents shouldn't be surprised if it looks a little bit different than it did last year. We're continuing to work on that. And I'm just really excited about the new school year and excited to see the progress we continue to make and other achievements. So that's my update tonight.
Great, thank you. Do you want to move on to the next item, the presentation?
Yep, absolutely. And to introduce this item, I am turning to our Executive Director of Student Services, Dr. Anna Marie Cohen.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, Superintendent Kramer, Clerk Hennessy, members of the Board of Trustees and community. Tonight I'm presenting on behalf of Sean Roderick, Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services. Tonight we will present an informational update on the Advanced Learning Services Program. We're excited to share the progress we've made, including updated best practices, new language to support advanced learners, and program implementation strategies. We want to recognize our dedicated educators and administrators for their commitment to creating opportunities for our students through the Advanced Learning Program. Our team looks forward to continuing to expand learning opportunities for all of our students. It is now my pleasure to introduce Ms. Karen Martin, lead teacher for Advanced Learning Services, who will share more about the update.
All right. Thank you for that introduction, and thank you, Superintendent Kramer and board members, for the opportunity to speak with you all tonight and share with our community. And is the volume okay with this? Yep. Okay, great. So tonight I'm going to share the process that we went through in revising the Advanced Learning Plan. And then I'm also going to share why we've changed the name from Accelerated Learning to Advanced Learning. And then I will finally share the 3 strategic plan goals that we have focused on in Accelerated Learning Services for our work. So why do we need Accelerated Learning Services in TTUSD? We know that all of our brains work in different ways, and that neurodiversity is the concept of how our brains are structured and wired may lead to differences in how we learn and perceive the world around us. This concept of neurodiversity is at the heart of why we need Advanced Learning Services in Tahoe Truckee Unified School District. Intellectual giftedness is a form of neurodiversity where differences in brain structure may create a need for different educational experiences and supports in order for individuals to meet their potential. And like I've shared with the board in prior presentations, these individuals, their brains often thrive on complexity. They need brain peers, not just age peers, and they often do better academically when the pace of instruction is a little bit faster. And like I've said before, it's not good or bad, better or worse, smart or not smart, it's just different. So this concept of neurodiversity is what drives our mission statement for Advanced Learning Services in TTUSD. And Advanced Learning Services provide a tiered system of support for intellectually gifted and high-achieving students, fostering academic growth aligned with their ability and nurturing their social-emotional well-being. Our district uses a needs-based model. So if a student presents a need, regardless of identification, we're able to provide those services. The Gifted and Talented Education Program, or GATE as it is sometimes referred to, is just one part of advanced learning services in Tahoe Truckee Unified School District. So the process that we went through to revise the Advanced Learning Master Plan actually began a long time ago, but due to COVID and a few changes that we've had in the Ed Services Department, it's taken a little bit longer to bring it all the way to the board here. But here we are, so I'm grateful to share this process with you tonight. So it started with me revising the plan in about 2019, and we worked together, and I did a lot of research and looked at other school districts across the nation, what were their advanced learning plans. I referred to the National Association of Gifted K-12 Programming Standards and the California State Board of Education recommended standards for programs for gifted and talented students. Those served as primary resources. And we held a number of advanced learning advisory committee meetings. And at those meetings, we looked at all the different sections of the master plan, and we got lots of feedback from parents, had really lively discussions, and it really was an opportunity for dialogue and give and take and revising, and then coming back to that group at later meetings with revisions. And then also, we also took the plan to our advanced learning teacher meetings, collaboration meetings, and we did a lot of revisions in those meetings as well. And as a result, we were able to put together a draft plan that then was taken to site councils. And then we also did a survey through Hanover, and as a result of their feedback, we also made revisions. And then finally last year, Sean Roderick, Assistant Superintendent Sean Roderick, and I sat down and we went through the whole plan together over the course of the year, made final revisions, and then that's what was presented to you all. So that's been the process. And then to address why we've changed the name, and I know that Kirsten Levak, I just want to recognize that she was a part of the board when we first presented this plan in 2014, a very long time ago now. So yeah, it's pretty exciting that it's been that long, and that it's grown and that it's flourished. And that is a testament to our board, to our superintendents that we've had over the years, and to our community. So I just want to acknowledge that. So why the change in the name from accelerated learning to advanced learning? The traditional definition of acceleration really has to do with our high ability students moving through the curriculum at a faster pace than their age peers and accessing more challenging curriculum. However, during the pandemic and then post-pandemic, there was a little bit of a change to that term, acceleration, and it was used in reference to some of our students who needed to fill in learning gaps. And so there were courses designed called Acceleration Workshop, things like that. And so it was a little confusing for some of our parents, some of our students, if we had accelerated learning services, and then we also had classes called Acceleration Workshop that were for our students who we were trying to accelerate that pace of learning to meet standards. So we wanted to make sure that the name of our services really reflected what we were striving to do, and so that it would eliminate that confusion. In addition, a little bit more about the nuanced differences between advanced versus accelerated. Number one, we wanted to eliminate that confusion, but advanced also tends to imply going in more depth, staying perhaps in grade level content, but extending grade level content, enriching grade level content, whereas, like we mentioned, accelerated implies a faster pace, whether that's used for students who need catching up, or whether that's to take students where they are and to advance them further. That being said, there are still recognized types of acceleration that are still used with our advanced learners, and we still will refer to those as acceleration or accelerated processes in our school district. So you can see up there, there's 6 types of acceleration. The first one is early entrance to kindergarten, and then there's single subject and whole subject acceleration, course telescoping, which is compacting a course like in 7th and 8th grade math. Advanced placement programs are considered a form of acceleration, and dual high school and college credit is also one that we use in our school district. All right, so moving on from that then to where we are currently, our advanced learning goals are based on the recommendations that we took from the Hanover surveys and then the TTUSD strategic plan. And we focused on 3. I went through the strategic plan and I kind of narrowed some of them down, and then I took those to our and I think you'll catch, I'm probably saying accelerated learning and advanced learning sometimes, because I just caught that. It's going to take a little while, because it's been 10 years. It's been a decade of neuropathway training. So, all right. So anyway, so I narrowed down some of the strategic plan goals, and then I presented them at our advanced learning advisory meetings, and then they narrowed them down again through discussion, and we chose 3. And then I also took those strategic plan goals to our advanced learning teacher collaborations, and they agreed upon those 3. So I'm going to share with you tonight what are those 3 strategic plan goals that we're focusing on. And the first one is collaborating with students to increase student voice and identify engagement opportunities. And so that's one thing that, obviously in education we strive to do, but as a result of the Hanover surveys, that was one area that they suggested was an area that we could improve a little bit. So we're working with our advanced learning teachers to make sure that that's a really strong part of the curriculum. And then also, I'll explain a little later a couple of the events that we have planned where we're increasing our community engagement. And the next goal was exploring additional collaboration opportunities to develop smooth transitions across all educational settings and programs. And last year I met, and this was the parents wanted us to focus on this, and last year I met with all the counselors in the school district, and as a result of that meeting, they too felt like those transition points were really important, and identified a couple of areas where our advanced learning teachers could help them and work together collaboratively to support those students. So Megan Rose, who's one of our advanced learning teachers on the Lakeside, and then Ashley Donahue is our elementary advanced learning teacher on the Truckee side. They work very hard to put together a spreadsheet that has detailed notes for the 6th grade, for our rising 5th graders, for those 6th grade counselors and teachers, so that we can make sure that we support those students with their unique academic and social emotional needs. And next is collaborating with community partners to support student learning and expand opportunities for community-based educational partnerships. And our parents felt really strongly about this, as do I. I think this is really important to make sure that we leverage the expertise in our community to really make sure that our students have all the opportunities they can for authentic project-based learning. And this picture is actually from our 6th grade GATE class last year, 2 students. And this was a community partnership that we had with Truckee Roundhouse, where they did a service learning project creating these duffel bags that were an extension from one of the novels that they read, Counting by Sevens, where they developed where one of the characters was in the foster care system, and they were developing these bags that will be given to an agency that works with foster care students. So that's just an example of one of those partnerships. And also the parents felt very strongly that we continue to work with our community partners for opportunities for our high school students. As we know, AP is wonderful. We often say AP is one of our main strategies that we have for our advanced learners at the high school, but oftentimes some of our intellectually gifted advanced learners don't necessarily fit in with the structure of what an AP course is. So having those internships, project-based learning opportunities are really great for those kids. And this is what I was referring to as far as making sure that we involve our community, and I've been working with Barbara Kane with our community engagement initiative, so that this fall we are having a welcome event for our Spanish-speaking GATE families, and that will be in September. We're really looking forward to working with those families and asking those families in a two-way conversation, what do they want for their students, and making sure that we, through Advanced Learning Services, are providing supports that they want for their kids. And also sometimes we don't know what we don't know, and so it's also an opportunity to, in their language and in smaller discussion groups, provide information for them at a really accessible point so that they feel like they can participate and know what is this Advanced Learning Services, what is GATE, why is my child a part of this, and what does that mean? And then the other opportunities for community engagement this year, we will have 2 Advanced Learning Advisory Committee meetings, one in December and then one in March. And then we will also have 2 parent workshops that coincide with our book clubs, and there will be one in November and then one in March as well. So in closing, just a reminder about the why. It's that different brains work in different ways, and we're so grateful that our district recognizes that, and that we have supports not only for our struggling students, our neurodiverse students to reach the standards, but we also have supports for our students who need to go beyond the standards. So as I mentioned before, it's not good or bad, better or worse, smart or not smart, it's just different. So we're very, very grateful to our board, to our superintendent, to our community for supporting the Advanced Learning Services. And thank you, and I'm available for questions at this point. So.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Are there any comments from the general public? Okay, how about from the board, comments or questions?
I just want to recognize the growth that I've seen in this program since I've had students involved, and just getting feedback from other parents about how they feel like it's evolved, in such a successful way and kind of adapted based on all the experience that you've had, the research that you've done, that it's very noticeable. So I want to recognize that because I think that's really awesome. I think the other thing too is hard when you're a parent of a child who fits in this category. There is such a broad spectrum that there's a tendency, I think, sometimes by the parents to want to kind of put their child in a box, and they really don't fit in a box. So I appreciate that our district has other options where you can talk to a counselor, you can talk to your teacher. It's not just about being kind of scheduled in AP classes or being in GATE, or it's not so much the labels. That I think that our district is just really good at recognizing our students as individuals also, and kind of helping them in a path that will either get them in the classes that are advanced if that's what they need, or if that's not the AP class, doesn't work for them, they're still finding these other options to sort of challenge them and make them their best selves. So I think it's really just a comprehensive program that the district offers that's really just this huge partnership between not just all of you, but the rest of the district too. So it's just really awesome.
Yeah, thank you. It's been 10 years in the working, definitely, and like I said, from the support of the board and the community, and I agree with you. I really value that the diversity of that student population is recognized and supported. So thanks.
Thank you so much, Kathleen. That's a great point that you make too. I think one of the questions that I've had since the inception of this program is the mental health needs of this population are immense, as we know, and profound. So I wanted to possibly ask you, what are we doing as a district to extend the level of care beyond, in terms of say, for example, parental support and education, the overlap of autism, ADHD, neurodiversity, OCD, perfectionism, and depression, and anxiety. all present very intensely in this population. And I'm just not really 100% sure. I know we're working very hard on the academic side of it, but what are we doing as a district, or who are we partnering with to assist with that other sort of socio-emotional side of that population?
I really appreciate that you're bringing that up because personally and professionally, that's like near and dear to my heart, and I've
Yeah.
walked through that path. And sometimes I can get choked up because, yeah, just like everything you mentioned, it's real. And those kids who stand up there and look like they've got it all going on, the underneath, there is a lot going on. And like you mentioned, ADHD and just all the anxiety and all those other things that walk along with those intensities. And so in the past and currently, I've just worked within district, but I'm really glad you brought that up because I think that really ties in with that community partner aspect. I have not worked, I felt like, I guess that's out of my scope of practice because I'm not a mental health provider, but I guess in working with counselors, I'll refer out, definitely, I do that, but I would be more than happy to talk with you more if you have more ideas about partnering and how we can partner to make more robust supports social emotionally for that student population because it's, I mean, for all of our students, it's so needed right now, as we know, and definitely I'm living and breathing that.
Yeah.
In my own family.
Right, right. Well, and I also think it's ethically, morally, for so many reasons, it's an imperative to not just identify with whatever the OLSAT or whatever you're using in the third grade, but to be able to extend beyond because it just gets more and more complex as they get older. And parents so many times are really not prepared for how to handle the explosiveness and the, sleeplessness and all of the features that come with it. And then there's also a tremendous amount of new research coming out that helps us better understand. So I would love to continue this conversation about how to sort of make it about the whole child, not just the academic piece, the whole child piece.
100%.
Yeah.
And I know I've read some research about ADHD and how, especially with our advanced students, and how that can, they're so advanced that, and sometimes teachers won't see how all of those behaviors get masked because they're achieving well, but they still have all of these anxieties and all these other different things that are going on. So sometimes the schools won't even recognize it. And I've even experienced, trying to get a 504 for a child and it being denied because they're achieving. And it's like, well, they're achieving, but this other stuff is going on. So I definitely feel what you're saying, and I am looking forward to working with you more on that.
Yeah, and I think too, especially high masking autism is now something that people are really able to sort of peel the superficial layer off of. Is the high masking kids oftentimes go under the radar because they have been socialized to look and appear like others, and they never get what their actual needs met. So that's kind of like just a whole new world that's opening up in terms of research. And I think maybe when you present like next year, I would love for us to see, how we're really working with that entire spectrum, if you will, in creating like a infused program so that we're really being, right out front, spearheading this movement. Thank you for your presentation.
Absolutely.
So many salient points, and always so good to see you.
Great. Yes, thank you, and thank you for your support. Great.
Okay, thank you so much. And the one thing I keep looking at the teachers that are in the trenches, and it reminds me of like, you know how we really pride ourselves on student voice. And when I look at you ladies, it reminds me of parent voice, because we've had parents here saying, we need more help on the lakeside, and then here you are, you know? And thank you, ladies, for your questions. Thank you. Okay, so now we will move on to our resolution.
And for this, we turn again to Dr. Cohen.
Okay. All right. Thank you. September 2025 is recognized as Attendance Awareness Month, emphasizing that consistent attendance is crucial for student success and a strong community. Reducing chronic absence requires a comprehensive approach, including positive school environments, early intervention, daily attendance tracking, and strong partnerships among schools, families, and communities. Attendance Awareness Month is a nationwide event with a goal to mobilize schools and communities not only to promote the value of good attendance, but also to take concrete steps towards reducing chronic absence. It is the staff's recommendation that the Board of Trustees adopt Resolution 2, 2025-2026, to establish September as Attendance Awareness Month with a commitment to addressing the root causes of absenteeism and engaging stakeholders to remove barriers to ensure all students have opportunities to learn and thrive. Are there any questions or comments from the board?
Okay, hearing none, let's move to, can I get a motion to approve this resolution?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2-2025-2026 of the governing board for the Truckee Tahoe Unified School District to establish September as Attendance Awareness Month. That was a mouthful.
And can we get a second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Great, thank you. Next item on the agenda is grants, and just before we move on to these, I just want to say how grateful our district is of all the community partnerships and the supports that we receive. We're very, very privileged that we have such a generous community. So with that, please.
Yes, absolutely. Dr. Cohen.
Thank you. This grant is being presented to the Early Learning Department in the amount of $3,000 by the Nevada County Superintendent of Schools for equipment and supplies for Truckee Elementary Preschool. This grant is provided for participation in Quality Counts California, a statewide effort to strengthen California's early learning and care system to support young children and their families. No application is required. It is staff's recommendation that the board accept this generous grant on behalf of TTUSD Early Learning Department. Are there any questions?
Seeing none, can we get a motion to accept this grant, please?
I'll move to accept the grant from Nevada County Superintendent of Schools for equipment and supplies for Truckee Elementary Preschool. Thank you so much.
And a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Okay, and for the next one, I'm excited to share and recommend to the board that we accept the grant from Excellence in Education for the Linda Brown Fellow Award winners that I showed earlier. They receive each of them a $2,000 grant for educational enhancement in their classroom. So this is a grant from Excellence in Education to these individuals so they can enhance their classroom. Any questions?
Questions, comments?
No questions, but this is awesome. When we first got to watch the recipients when we were at convocation, it was really fun to see the shock on some of the recipients'
Yes.
faces, like, what do you mean, that's me? So that was probably my favorite moment.
Okay, could we get a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the grant from the Excellence in Education Foundation for the 25-26 Linda Brown Fellows Award.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. And the next item?
Dr. Cohen?
Thank you. On behalf of Assistant Superintendent Sean Roderick, it is my pleasure to present for your consideration a generous donation of $3,500 from the Excellence in Education Foundation for the 25-26 Welcome Session books, which were distributed at our Parent Data Confirmation Summer Workshops. Each year, TTUSD holds parent data confirmation workshops where parents can review and confirm important information, complete required forms, and acknowledge school policies. Completing this online process ensures student safety and a seamless start to the year. The Excellence in Ed Foundation provided a generous grant to purchase a variety of books for children. Each child who attends a workshop will receive a book to take home to read with their families, sharing the joy of literacy as they begin their school year. We are deeply grateful for the Excellence in Education Foundation's ongoing partnership and their support of our parent workshops and student literacy. It is the staff's recommendation that the Board of Trustees accept this generous donation. Are there any questions?
Okay, seeing none, do we have a motion?
I'll move to accept the grant from Excellent in Education, Welcome Session Books, Parent Data Confirmation, and Summer Support Workshops.
A second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And thank you again to all of the grantors. But since Excellence in Education is present, thank you so much for always supporting our students and our staff. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, am I closing the open meeting? Sorry, I have to check processes. So right now, I am going to close the regular board meeting of TTUSD and open a public hearing.
Great. And then we're just asking if any public would like to comment on CSEA initial proposals to TTUSD regarding our negotiations.
Okay.
We can close it.
Great, we are going to close the public hearing and reopen our open session, our regular board meeting. And we're going to pick up with item 14, negotiations.
For this item, we will turn to our Executive Director of Human Resources, Mr. Mike Shepard.
Thank you, Superintendent Kramer, Clerk Hennessy, members of the board, and the community. We present for your consideration the openers from CSEA Chapter Number 383. Your acceptance, should you accept these openers, will allow us to enter into negotiations for the 25-26 school year. And the openers are Article 3, Hours of Employment and Overtime, Article 16, Wages, and Article 17, Health and Welfare Benefits. And are there any questions?
Any questions from either of you? Okay, I have no questions. Could we get a motion to approve this?
I'll make a motion to approve the sunshine articles from CSEA, chapter number 383, to move forward for negotiations with the district.
In a second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. And next, we're moving on to business services.
And for this item, we turn to our Assistant Superintendent Chief Business Officer, Mr. Todd Rivera.
Thank you, Superintendent Kramer, members of the board. So tonight we're bringing an application for 2025-2026 dry period financing through Placer County. And we bring this to the board every year. Essentially throughout the year, our revenues come in at different times, and our expenses are pretty continuous throughout that. So generally, at some points during the year for us, most of the time it's October, November, we actually run out of cash or go into negative cash flow, as we call it. And as part of that, there's different methods that districts can do to backfill that cash flow. We can take out temporary debt, but in our case, the County of Placer Treasurer offers what's called dry period financing, where they'll basically cover that cash shortfall during those months where we fall in the negative, and in return, the only thing that we owe them back is the interest earnings on that cash that they backfilled for us. So this year, we have cash flow that's in the negative, showing on, and this can change according to the timing of revenue. Generally, we'll hit negative in November this year. It could be a little sooner, could continue into December a little bit until we get our property tax allocations. But we're asking the county to cover approximately $5 million in cash shortfalls.
Does the board have any questions or comments? Okay, so we are being asked to approve this dry period financing application. Do I have a motion?
I'll move to approve, excuse me, to approve the 2025-26 dry period financing application through the Placer County Office of Education, what is it? Through
Just
County of Placer.
There you go. Yep.
Okay,
Placer County Treasurer.
yeah.
Yep.
And I will second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and now moving on to our consent agenda. Oh, go ahead.
Staff has no items to pull.
Okay, ladies, do you have any items you'd like pulled from the consent agenda? Okay, so then could we get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as
I'll
presented.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are moving right along this evening. All right, so next we are going to hear from our associations.
And Melissa Cruz from CSEA, President, sends her best, and she'll be here in October. But tonight, I'm happy to invite up our TTA President, Erin Lefevers. Welcome.
Yay. All right.
Tall people go before me. I was looking back at my board address for last year, and it's like, oh, I didn't come in September. Okay. So like, what do I say? I just said a bunch of stuff at convocation. So welcome back. From all accounts that I've been hearing from the sites, everything is starting smoothly, like Superintendent Chief Learning Officer Kramer said. People are getting back in the groove, getting back on a schedule, and learning how to use the bathroom during Pell breaks and stuff like that. That's always a fun trick. Back to school nights are starting up again. We are facing ours next week. So always a lot of fun where teachers and parents can get together and get to kind of introduce themselves to each other. The one thing that is happening is SHWEP is visiting the science classes to introduce the wonders of watershed to elementary schools and to initiate their community service projects. So all the sciences are doing that. TTEA and Tahoe Truckee Unified started their negotiations today. And my watch keeps going off with updates. And then our only kind of negative on our start was the mandated trainings, and I had kind of mentioned this to Mike, is that we do have the slated 3 hours. When you add up the time that they're supposed to take, it is costing us 6 hours. So it's an extra 3 hours on the teachers with the back end. So I'm assuming, and I'm planning to put this on our e-board, e-cabinet agenda, and see if we can come up with some sort of solution. So far, that is what I've been hearing on there. All right, see you back in October.
Thank you very much. Okay, now we're going to move on to personnel.
Mr. Shepherd?
Thank you. We're seeking approval for the Committee on Assignment recommendations for the 25-26 school year. Education Code 44258.7 C and D allows full-time teachers with special skills and preparation to be assigned to teach in an elective area outside of their credential. And so that committee is made up of 2 TTEA members chosen by the association and 2 administrators chosen by the district. And just to note, we have 16 teachers at ACMS who fall under this, and 2 teachers from North Tahoe Middle. And with that, are there any questions?
Okay, hearing no questions, we will move on to approval of the Committee on Assignment. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the Committee on Assignment recommendations for the 25-26 school year.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Next, 19.2.
Mr. Shepherd?
Thank you. We're Staff is recommending that you ratify this agreement between Tahoe Truckee Unified School District and Man Infocom, Inc., doing business as Helios Ed. This is the system that we have been talking about for quite some time. We've reached out to multiple departments, we've signaled, but this is going to eventually modernize us in eliminating most paper in the district. So leave slips, payroll routing so the whole point is to free up staff time to be better customer service in other areas because we won't have people signing time cards. So this will be a long process. We anticipate moving at the pace our organization can move at. So lots of meetings, lots of collaboration within departments and with both bargaining teams. And so we will have some benchmarks along the way. So with that, any questions?
Any questions? All right, hearing none, can we get a motion, please?
I'll move to ratify the agreement between TTUSD, wait, which one are we on?
19.2.
Yeah, between TTUSD and Mancom, Infocom, Inc., DBD Helios ED.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Okay, now on to board business. Who would like to start?
Well, we had an exciting first day of school. It was so nice to be able to visit with Superintendent Kramer. So many campuses, Truckee Elementary, Truckee High, Glenshire, Alder Creek, and Sierra High School. Everybody seemed to be very much in a positive state and excited and optimistic about the new school year, eager to learn and get back into the routine of things. So grateful for all of our wonderful campuses, our wonderful staff, smiling teachers, smiling everyone, and just lots and lots of warm, fuzzy feelings for the first day of school. In particular, it was really fun to see those TK kids getting a chance to adjust to what it's like to be on campus at that age, and adjust to the whole, idea of being a student. I'm really glad that we are able to provide that for our students, to help them adjust and to also help families provide their young ones with the structure that they need to be successful academically. Joaquin's sort of escaping over there. And then, let's see here, open house at Glenshire last night. No, back to school night at Glenshire last night was really, really wonderful. For the third to fifth graders, we're going back next week for the TK to second graders, and then tomorrow night at Alder Creek. Again, it's just makes me so proud to be a part of such a wonderful district and to see just how happy people are to be able to work in such a wonderful place. Yeah, that's my update. Thank you.
I think we all went to convocation, and then some of us made it to the new teacher orientation lunch, which was super fun talking to new teachers. And then I want to say that I did hear some feedback from a TK student who their favorite part so far is the bus ride to Donner Trail. And edamame salad was another popular, they were really excited about the food, which then transitions me to recognition of our food services too in Time Magazine, that had a lot of parents say that they shared the article with grandparents and friends outside of the district to brag about how amazing our district is. So, woohoo, shout out. That's all I have.
All right, so you covered most of what I had. So everybody have a kick butt new start to the school year. Start to the new school year, and we'll see you guys in a couple weeks. Thank you. We're adjourned.